Hi, everyone. Welcome to childbirthwithgrace.tv. And I am Ilia Blandina, your host. This month is February, so we're going to be concentrating on how to increase the passion in your pregnancy and during childbirth. So today's class is all about focusing on the beauty and passion of labor. And if you saw the photo that I had on my event page, it's like this beautiful pregnant woman um, laying on a beautiful blanket with rose petals everywhere, and everything is just perfect. And wouldn't be great to just envision your labor uh, as graceful as that photo. So that's what I'm inviting you and offering you to think about how you can infuse grace and beauty and passion and peacefulness into your labor experience. So if you've been watching the classes since the beginning, I went through a whole series of the warrior goddess within labor pain management. And in that series, I went over different techniques on how to manage your pain during childbirth. And also, you could use the techniques to manage your pain when while you're pregnant, while the different body aches and things like that too. So what I want you to do though today is more about thinking of oh, and by the way, uh, if you want to catch that whole pain management series, you can become a monthly subscriber and to our closed group, and you'll be able to catch all the back issues of all the different pain management techniques. So look on my Facebook fan page for that. You could say it where it says join me or join us. Anyways, but coming back to today, the beauty and passion of labor. Um, I want you to, I'm offering you to think of labor as a process where, um, well, let's think of it this way. Uh, I was at a seminar um, earlier this month, or well, actually at the end of January, and it was led by Barbara DeAngelis. And I think I mentioned her book Soul Shifts, the last class. Great book to read when you are really looking to shift your vibrational energy inside, and applies to all areas of life. But one thing that she brought up during the seminar, which hit home uh, about pregnancy and about labor, is the concept of choosing uh, things in your life that either expand you or contract you. And in the context of the seminar, of course, things that expand you are things that make you happy, make you full of joy, bring up the feeling of love, peacefulness, all those things, you know. So we can think of what your favorite things are to do, and that's, you know, if you like walking in nature, meditation, um, being in the garden, uh, creating really healthy food, all these things that you would sort of just think, you know, what do I really love to do? And then things that contract you are things that make you feel small and feel like give you the lower vibrational energies of more negative emotions. So, of course, fear, um, when you start feeling tension in your body, um, when you're feeling ashamed about something or feeling guilty or anger, any of those kind of lower vibration emotions that make you feel contracted. So, in the context of labor, um, when you start having thoughts, that you're not sure if you can have your baby naturally, that everyone in your family has told you that they've all had C-sections, so you should just go ahead and plan for a C-section. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, just the pure thought of someone doing that or saying that, and I was sort of in that spot with my last baby. um it just makes me feel, I feel like this knot right in my chest, and I just feel really like squished down, and sort of that feeling of being made small, and feeling as if um your people are telling you not to trust your body. So those are things, we could go on and on. And of course, I invite you, you can uh, put some comments down below, and just a little quick tip on the comments. There's a little checkbox that says refresh. Uncheck that so that way it doesn't refresh on you while you're typing in your comments. And I'll look at that during the show and during the class, and see if there's anyone with questions or anything like that going on. But the point being is uh, that, let me take a minute to just get to where the comments are, so that way if anyone starts commenting, I can answer any questions. And again, I invite you to do that. Um, Not a problem. And of course, you could always post things. If you're watching the class after it's live, you can always put questions on the page itself. Even after uh, that. So I'm just going to the little theater, just making sure everything's working pretty good, and it should start up here in just a second. All right, let's see. Yeah, there's the comments below. Just right below, you scroll right below, and there's a little comment section. So um, by all means, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, cool. We're good there. Just wanted to make sure that that area is ready to go for you. Everything seems like it's ready to go. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So I was talking about expansion, choosing between expansion, things that expand you and lift your vibration, and things that contract you. So, with that in mind, um, one of the things that really hit home for me is that in actuality, labor is a really unique experience. And this is why I keep saying it's so important for you to prepare mentally ahead of time for labor. Oh, I know. I was talking about um, the the um, the C-section thing. People hounding you for going ahead and scheduling C-section just because your family has had a history of C-sections. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't need to just jump on that. You don't have to believe in that. Um, uh, you could, you know, just allow your body to give it a go. And here's where the beauty and passion of labor and the whole concept of contraction and expansion during labor is so important, especially when you're being given all these negative stories of either your family's history, or maybe you've had a C-section before and now you want to do what's called a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after C-section. Um, Sometimes fear is a big component, and uh, and the main important thing that you need to do, besides the typical getting regular prenatal care and consulting with your practitioner and all that, whether it's feasible, but let's say, once it's feasible and everything's a go, from a medical standpoint, what you want to do is really work on your internal vibrational energy towards the idea of you being in labor and getting prepared for labor. And with the idea that we're always, what we should always do is choose things that expand us and lift up our vibration, and stay away from things that contract us and make us feel small and not powerful, because the idea is to find your power in your labor. um, is that labor is an interesting time in that, in essence, vibrationally and energetically, you have to allow for expansion. And and what I mean by that is, you have to allow for your pelvis to expand, you have to allow for your cervix to expand, to allow the baby to be born. That, and everything gets expanded. By the same token, it's probably, and if anyone can think of another situation in life where um, you're forced to be in complete equilibrium between what expands you and what contracts you, because I think where I'm going right now is, things that contract you in labor that you have to allow the contraction to happen is the actual contraction of your uterus. And um I guess another time that we feel contractions and you have to allow for that to happen is when you have your monthly cycle. And I guess that's good preparation for that, because you have to allow for the letting go of the lining, and allow for all those cramps, if you're one that feels cramps. Okay. Some women don't feel cramps as bad, but some women do. So I guess that's another area we have to allow for that. But with that, forces all these over the counter medications and things that you can take for that, that you can't take when you're in labor, or when you're pregnant. So really, labor is a really very unique experience where you really have to um, keep everything in balance, as far as what expands you vibrationally, and your inner monologue to yourself, with the physical experience of your body contracting. Um, and once you're in labor and it gets going, it doesn't stop. The contractions don't stop. I mean, they may stop if your labor stops, but in actuality, you want your contractions to keep coming on a regular basis, and you want them to be rhythmic and effective and consistent, and push the baby down and out. And with that, of course, there's pain. And how you approach pain, if you approach pain from a negative viewpoint, it's going to further contract your vibrational energy in your body, which then your body, and that's how your body ends up fighting against itself in labor. And that's where I've seen many, many times in my experience as a midwife where women get stuck in labor because essentially they have this inner struggle with expansion and contraction, and they haven't prepared enough. I mean, I'm just going to be straight out. They just haven't prepared for the experience of being in labor, for the mental game of being in labor. And then they just all the negative emotions come rushing in. I've seen women completely stop their labors, or their contractions become ineffective because they're always in their mind not wanting them to be stronger, so then they never get stronger to get further in the process of labor. I've seen women completely check out, where they basically it's almost like passing out, but they mentally check out and don't experience the labor anymore, and then the labor stops in that it doesn't progress. So there's a lot that goes on um, in the chances of needing a C-section. There's a lot of physical things that happen that requires a C-section because it becomes an emergency situation. But uh, I'm going to offer to you, from my experience, that if women were to get more prepared on a regular basis ahead of time for this whole concept of staying in an expanded, high vibrational, emotional state while their body is physically contracting, I really believe that we could decrease the amount of C-sections there are for reasons like failure to progress and that kind of thing, where the labor's too long and it's not getting on with it. Um, so that's the offering today, is uh, to consider the idea of how important is it for you to prepare for your upcoming childbirth or labor, or during the pregnancy, how you're feeling. Because uh, in reality, I put the picture up on the page, the woman laying there on this beautiful um, purple blanket with a beautiful blue crochet blanket over her, and she's just wonderfully asleep. And I know all you gals out there that know me and worked with me on labor floor think I'm crazy. I'm like, yeah, wouldn't it be great if all labors were that just gorgeous and graceful? And yet, if we really think about it, everyone out there who's in the community of helping women to give birth, there's always that one um, client that comes in and is in labor with so much grace, and they're just all together, and that's, they've worked on any of their negative emotions that they have towards labor and have about their body and have about giving birth, and their labor goes so much smoothly, effortlessly. I mean, I'm not saying they're not in pain. But they are managing their pain really well, because after all, we remember that childbirth is really very natural way to be. And I'm going to offer up to you that the idea that if we were to get rid of all our negative thoughts about what if this and what if that for labor, if we can get that prepared, that when you're in labor, the pain isn't going to be as intense as you think it's going to be. I really wholeheartedly believe that. Having seen women in labor, having given birth myself 4 times, um, and even had a home birth. One of my last baby was a home birth. So, um, and one of the best ways is through tapping, and to get that's the best way. Tapping and using matrix reimprinting is the best way to prepare for the vibrational um, way of giving birth, because it's going to elevate you to another level of emotional state, mental state. And because your what your thoughts are, because remember the old saying, thoughts becomes things. What you say in your head is, and what you say to yourself is super important. And to get into the mode of lifting yourself up vibrationally on a consistent basis through your pregnancy, and practicing the different pain management techniques that I taught before, and getting with a tapping practitioner, someone like myself, and really get digging deep and getting rid of all your fears and stressors, anxiety, all your tension about giving birth, that when you go into labor, you're going to have all the tools. You'll have cleared the way, first of all. My favorite saying is, instead of planning your pregnancy, your birth, you should clear the way. And this is what I'm talking about. You got to clear away all the contracted way of thinking that you bring to yourself. So that way, the only thing that's left is just your uterus contracting. That's the only thing that's left. That's it. If if you add no more energy to that, um, to that physical sensation that's you want in your body, for one, if you don't feed it with any more negative things coming from your mind, coming from previous experience, any of that, then you will be able to give birth without a problem. I really wholeheartedly believe in that, barring, of course, unforeseen circumstances of any other emergency problems happening. But theoretically, seven at least 70% of women should be able to give birth vaginally. But yet, if you look at the statistics, in some of the areas in the country, I mean, the C-section rate is up to like 50, over 50%. And that's just crazy, you know. Where really the standard is just having a C-section, because you don't progress in labor, or you're not given enough time, and or there's just so many. It's so multifaceted why women would have a C-section, as far as the time constraints of the labor. So that's another um, kind of class, and it goes too deep. You can get that information everywhere else in the internet. With me, the idea is, my mission is to give you what you need for the mental um, game of giving birth, the mental edge, so that you're prepared. So, with that in mind, I'm going to share my screen with y'all, and see if we can do a meditation. And while I'm setting this up, I just want to remind you again, you've been watching childbirthwithgrace.tv, and my name's Ilia Blandina, and I specialize in helping women awaken their life power through getting the birth journey that they desire. And that's why I named the class Childbirth with Grace. All right, so I'm gonna just cue the music. Here we go. All right, here we go. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Just want to see. Okay. Okay. I just want you to sit back and just let your body relax in your chair. And put your feet flat on the ground. And during this meditation, go ahead and tap on your finger points. And I want you to take a deep breath in and out. And as you breathe in and out, just notice any tension in your body. And when you breathe in, notice the tension. And then when you breathe out, release the tension out of your body. And take another deep breath. And just release all that tension. Breathe in all the wonderful oxygen that nourishes your body. And release all the tension. And let's think about what expands you in your thoughts about your childbirth. And as you think of that, just softly gaze at the image, the beautiful colors, the beauty that is pregnancy. The wonderful red rose petals, red being the color of grounding, of passion, of earth energy. Then let your eyes just look at the colors, the yellow rose petals. Yellow being the color of trust. Trust in oneself and your ability to have a wonderful childbirth experience that completely expands you, no matter the outcome, as long as you and your baby are healthy. Let your birth experience be expansive. Look at the beautiful light blue blanket. A blanket of comfort, light blue energy of being able to voice your needs during your pregnancy, during labor. Trusting your body to tell you what it needs. Light blue is the color of communication. Let's take another deep breath. Now look at the beautiful color of the pinks and the purples. These are the colors of your higher self. The part of you that knows exactly what you need to have a childbirth with grace, passion, peace. It's the part of you that knows what you need to expand and knows all the different choices that you have to expand your experience of this special time in your life. Remember, this is just a small time of your life, but it's so, so important. This special time in your life, childbirth, is the time when you must feel both simultaneously expansion, and contraction. It is time where there is no choice than to stay centered and live at the 0 point of all creation. That point where you must balance your inner feelings of expansion, expanding your mind and living in all the high vibrational emotions of love and peace and grace, and balance it with the feelings of the physical sensations of your body contracting and pushing the baby out. But you have all the tools. And what I'd love for you to do is just concentrate on your favorite color in the photo, whether it's the purple, the white, the pink, the blue, yellow, fuchsia, or red. Or gold. Any of those colors. There's also some green. Just pick one color that you feel is the most expansive color for you. And now I want you to put your hand on your heart and tap on the back of your hand. And visualize that color above your head. And let that color come in through your body, that beautiful, expansive color of feeling love and compassion and peace during childbirth, and passion to follow your body and know what your body needs through the guidance of your higher self. And let that beautiful energy just come right through all the neural pathways of your body and go through all the cells of your body all the way down to your feet. And bring that back into your heart. A beautiful feeling of expansion and love and passion and peace, knowing that you will be able to have beautiful childbirth with grace. And send that out into the universe, 360 degrees. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes if they were closed, or you could start looking around the room. And when I count to 3, you will be back in the room. 1, 2, 3. Hi, everyone. Well, that was a really great meditation, and I invite you to look at any thoughts that may have come up during that meditation. If you had negative thoughts or thoughts that you feel that there's too many obstacles in the way to reaching the kind of childbirth experience that you want, those are all things that you can journal about and then tap about. And if you need tapping, I'm here for you. Need help with tapping, that is, I'm here for you. You can always contact me on my page, and we can have a complimentary chat and see if I can help you get to the goal of having a wonderful childbirth with grace. So until we see each other again next week, always know that um, your the tree of your celestial family is there, uh, ready to guide you to awaken your life power to the best possible birth journey through a childbirth with grace. So until we see each other, keep tapping, comment, and message me, and be present, be well, and think expansive, wonderful, passionate thoughts in this wonderful month of February. All right. See you then. Bye.